Hi everyone, it's Kathy here from the UK, designer for Bello's Designs, and today I'm going to be doing a talk crafty to me all about using cling film or cling wrap with water spray and various inks. So the items I'm going to be using today will be the Element inks, Violet Chalk, Lime Punch and Mermaid. I'm going to be using some Versafine Clair in Verdant and Warm Breeze. And I'm going to also be using some Distress Oxides in Twisted Citron, Abandoned Coral and Wild Honey. I'm going to have a few blending brushes for my Distress Oxides and some stencil brushes that I'm going to be using for my Element inks. And the rest with the Versafine Clair, we're only going to be using cling film. So there's going to be a couple of different techniques using cling film. So let's get started. I'm going to find the end of my cling film. And I'm going to tear off quite a large piece of cling film ready to be used. Put that to a side. I'm actually going to start with the Element inks. And I've got a piece of Multifarious card here. And I'm going to use my brushes to apply the inks. Now, as you can probably see, my Element inks are very well used, so I'm not taking off any excess for these because they're not as juicy as they were, because I use them an awful lot. If yours are juicier, I'd suggest perhaps taking a little bit off first. Oh, there we go, that one's much juicier. And we'll have a little bit of Lime Punch. Just blending them in together a bit. There we go. Now for this, I'm going to get my piece of cling film. Normally when I do this without a camera, I would hold it up as if you were going to hang it on a washing line or something and then spray it. But you can't see that if I do it, so I'm lying it down. I'm just putting about 4 squirts of water onto my cling film. I don't know if you can see that very well. And then as I put the cling film on, I'm just squishing it together in parts. And you can see already that where the water is. This takes a good 10 to 15 minutes to dry, so I'm going to move that out of the way to dry off camera over there. And then I'm going to start on a dry cling film technique. Again, I've got a piece of Multifarious. I'm going to take a generous piece of cling film. I'm just going to scrunch it up like that. I'm going to be using the Warm Breeze and the Verdant on this. So there's no water involved in this one. This is literally just a scrunching technique. Creates quite a good background. And it doesn't need to be left a while to dry. So I've got another piece I scrunched up. I'm going to use the green and blend them in. I think it makes a really effective background. There we go. That's that one. That that one's already done now. Here's a couple that I did using the same technique with different colours. This one was the orange and the purple. I did another blue and green one there. I did a different one here with one side blue, one side green. And I wanted to show you what the image looks like once you stamp on it. So it gives quite an effective background. And it's quite quick and easy. So that's technique 2. And the third one, I'm going to be using Distress Oxides. And I'm going to be using Twisted Citron, Abandoned Coral and Wild Honey. So I'm going to start with the Wild Honey. My Wild Honey is actually quite, again, another well-used ink. So I'm quite generous with it because I need it to be re-inked really, or a new ink. But I don't like wasting things, so I'll keep using it until it gives up the ghost. Right. Now I'm going to have a bit of the Abandoned Coral. This particular one I will take excess off because it's a very new one, so it's incredibly juicy. And mix them in with the orange. Oopsie, excuse me, and some Twisted Citron. Turn it around. There we go, quite a colourful background. And another piece of cling film. If I'm not careful, I'm going to lose the end. Don't you hate it when it happens? And the roll gets smaller and smaller and smaller the more you use it. My husband is terrible at this. He always loses the ends. Right. 3 or 4 squirts of water. And the same as before, smooshing it in. Down there. Okay, I'm going to put a bit of water on there because I think that bit didn't seem to have much water. Right, again, I'm going to leave that to set, I was going to say, but dry is probably the word. And then I'm also going to be using the same colour Oxides. I'm going to use the red and the green, I think, and I'm going to do the same technique that I did with the Versafine Clair, where I just take off a piece, give it a good scrunch. There's the red, and a bit here for the green. There we go. And then I'm just going to use my brush with what's on my brush just to go around the edges. There we go. The scrunching technique with the Distress Oxides. So this just takes a few minutes to dry. It doesn't take very long at all. But I'm going to come back in a moment, in about 10-15 minutes, leave it 10 or 15 minutes to make sure that the cling film has dried, and then I can show you the results. Back shortly. Hi guys, I'm back. It's been about 15 minutes. I think it's going to be safe enough to take the cling film off. So I'm going to take the cling film off the Distress Oxide first. Oh wow, I'm quite pleased with that. That's come out quite well. Don't know how well you can see the lines. It's quite effective. And now we're going to do the element inks. And it just lifts off when it's dry. Oh, you can see that much vibrant. Now, because I use purple, you do get a darker line. I found this before when I used purple on a previous one. Here you can see you get little dark lines, but it's very, very effective. So please have a go. It's easy. It's a nice, easy technique. And if you do have a go, please share on Facebook and tag me or post it on one of our groups, because I'd love to see. Both of our groups on Facebook are Del Bello's Designs Lounge for all things Lavinia, and Del Bello's a la carte for all of the other products that are not Lavinia. I would love to see you have a go at doing this, so please do join in. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.